Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what is the hidden difference between ordinary affection and true divine love? Is it merely an emotion we feel? Or is it a dormant state of consciousness just waiting to be awakened? Welcome, seekers of truth. Today, we are diving into the uncharted depths of the human mind to unlock the ultimate secrets of affection, love, faith, trust, and devotion. Think of the mighty Mughal king Humayun. What invisible power drove a wealthy emperor to trade his own life, his very final breath, to save his dying son? That wasn't just love. That was the highest, absolute peak of pure affection. And what about the legendary Majnu? He didn't care about Layla's physical form. When he looked at her, he saw the exact reflection of his own soul. Where does this transformative journey eventually take us? From the intense, blinding devotion that made Meera smile while drinking a cup of poison, to the unwavering, rock-solid faith that kept young Prahlad completely untouched inside roaring flames. How did ordinary humans achieve this impossible state of being?
Today's discourse is on the secret of affection, love, devotion, trust, and faith in life. These are the internal states of the depths of the human mind. You cannot express them in words. Every individual experiences them. If you love a woman, another person may feel hatred toward her. Therefore, understand well that affection, love, devotion, trust, and unwavering faith are internal states of the mind, and they can be different for every person. It is truly impossible to express them through words. If you try to express them through language, your words will only circle around the essence. You will never truly be able to give expression to these terms. It is impossible to convey these feelings through any language because these realizations are not physical states, they are mental and deep states of consciousness. Whatever arises from the depths of the mind and consciousness is impossible to translate into speech. You can wander around the banks of a spring, but you cannot express the experience of drowning in its deep waters through words. First, let us speak of affection. An ordinary person considers affection and love to be the same, but there is a world of difference between them. You can feel affection for an infant. Looking at a child, affection arises in your mind. Toward those younger than you whom you like from your heart and consciousness, affection arises. Often this is labeled as love, but it is not love, it is affection. Affection is a very sensitive and internal emotion. It is far removed from materiality. Sometimes a person expresses affection through their eyes or gestures upon seeing an infant. Affection for a child comes naturally. It is not a reaction of your mind. Even if you do not wish it, looking at a stranger's child can fill you with affection. Affection is a form of consciousness and comes only through divine inspiration. An infant is above all flaws, they are pure. That is why anyone can feel affection for a child. There is no vocabulary for this, nor can one be developed. Affection can have many layers. It can be physical, mental, or at the level of consciousness. Often, people only experience physical affection. Seeing the beautiful face of an infant, they feel physical affection. They may kiss the child or embrace them. This happens because a wave of affection was born in the mind. But for a child with whom you have a relationship, there is not only physical affection but also deep mental affection. Sometimes, you cannot even bear to be without the child. If affection develops further, it takes command of your consciousness. Then, whether you are at work, at home, or outside, your attention remains only on your child. This is an internal and very high state of affection. In this deep affection, parents even sacrifice their lives for the children they cherish. They cannot live without them. There is a famous historical story of the Mughal king Humayun. His son was young and fell gravely ill. He sought every possible treatment, but the boy did not recover. Every method was tried: Ayurveda, homeopathy, allopathy, and even natural healings. Since he was the son of a king, the king spent all his wealth on him. But the child did not get well. He prayed to God, he prayed to Allah, but there was no recovery. Yet, the affection in his heart was so deep that finally, from the depths of his soul, he prayed to the Lord, "O Lord, take my life instead, but save this child." You can understand the power of such a prayer. Through King Humayun's prayer, his son gradually began to recover, while King Humayun himself began to fall ill. In a short time, the child was healthy, and Humayun passed away. It was an untimely death. Thus, you can understand that when affection reaches such depths, a person can even put their life at stake. This is the greatest state of affection, and the divine listens only to the language of affection. That is why the child became healthy. King Humayun gave his years to the child and left his life before his time. Affection is not merely a kiss. An embrace is just a demonstration of affection. These are all physical. There is affection through thoughts. But when affection comes from the inner soul and consciousness, a person can sacrifice their everything. True affection is influenced by the power of the soul. It is a form of consciousness, and this affection alone gives the realization of bliss. You cannot compare this bliss to anything else. One who feels affection brings gifts for the child and finds joy in those gifts. In return for this joy, they desire nothing. Whether their affection is in the form of a gift or a prayer, it comes from the depth of the heart, and no hope is kept in return. In another sense, understand that affection is action without the desire for fruit. You feel affection, but you have no craving. You want nothing in return. This is the teaching of the Gita. If there is no desire in your heart while performing any task, if you work without desire and without seeking results, then that selfless work brings bliss. The spring of bliss flows from it. This is why affection brings joy, because there is no desire for a result. In summary, the one who shows such affection is a worshipper of the Gita. They show affection without seeking any gain. In this affection, they perceive the divine. True affection is another form of loving the divine. Just as a mother finds joy in nursing her infant, she stays awake all night with the child and considers the child's pain as her own, yet she has no desire for any reward. This is the secret of affection. This is why a mother finds bliss with her infant. Bliss can only exist where the work is done for the divine. In essence, affection is the individual's expression toward the divine. Now we come to love. Love is also very difficult to understand. It has many forms: conjugal love, divine love. Love also comes from a person's heart. Not everyone can love another. One loves only when their vibrations harmonize with the vibrations of the other person. Otherwise, loving is difficult. Love is not brought, nor is it done. Love happens on its own. Now, if any action happens on its own, the reason must be that the power of the Lord is behind it. Love occurs due to the similarity of internal vibrations. Your heart can only feel love for someone whose vibrations match your own. You must have seen in life that in love, a person does not care for caste, status, form, color, wealth, or poverty. This is because love is a state of consciousness, and love always triumphs because it comes from consciousness, and consciousness is the very power of the divine. A lover may even leave their parents for their beloved. Love has no end. You must have heard the stories of Laila and Majnu. This is a world-renowned tale of love. Laila was not a beautiful girl, she was dark-complexioned and had ordinary features. But Majnu was a well-built, attractive young man. Laila was nothing compared to him. The king of that time said to Majnu, "Why have you fallen in love with such a girl? There are many beautiful maidens in this world. I myself can introduce you to a beautiful woman, and then you will forget Laila." But Majnu said only one thing to the king, "You have the power and can introduce me to a beautiful woman. But look at Laila through my eyes. If you look at Laila through my eyes, then you will realize that the waves of my soul meet the waves of Laila's soul. My mental level is the same as hers. Her physical form attracts me deeply. For me, there is no woman in this world as beautiful as Laila." Majnu could say this because his love for Laila was in the form of consciousness. Their two souls were one. When the souls of two people become one, they do not compare physical forms. The attraction of the soul is the greatest attraction. If a person loves someone, they listen to their every word, see the world through their eyes, and try to become one with them. Finally, like a flower, both bloom and fill the entire world with fragrance. Love cannot be expressed in ordinary language, it is experienced. Similarly, if a person falls in love with the divine, they listen to the knowledge of the Lord with great depth. They adopt the teachings of the Gita and listen to the Vedas. They keep the knowledge of the Upanishads within them. This is a sign of divine love. They yearn for a vision of the Lord and meditate so they can become one with Him. When they strive to become one, they gradually reach the state of samadhi or state of ecstasy, drowning in divine love. This is the greatest love. They become radiant like the Lord. The fragrance of the Lord spreads through the world via the lover. The lover becomes a void before the divine. Just as a person's breath flows through the Ida and Pingala channels, when they are in the divine, their breath flows through the subtle channel means, Sushumna Nadi, which is the void. In this emptiness, they become one with the Lord, because love is God and God is love. The entire universe is a form of divine love. You can understand, Bhagwan means God, like this. Bha stands for Bhumi, that is, earth. If you love God, first it will be a manifest love, like our love for the earth. The earth gives us everything. We live on it, our food comes from it, and our home is on it. This is the manifest love of the Lord. Ga stands for Gagan, that is, sky or space. When manifest love expands, one begins to love the Lord in an unmanifest form. This is the form of the sky, formless. When one loves the Lord in this formless state, they become one with the universe. Va stands for Vayu, that is, air. When one loves the divine, they feel the bliss of the Lord whenever the air touches their body. Thus, the Lord is both manifest and unmanifest, and He provides bliss. Na stands for that is near, that is, water. Finally, when one becomes one with the Lord, He showers the nectar of immortality in the form of water. This is true love for the divine. From the manifest to the unmanifest, through the touch of the air as bliss, to the shower of nectar upon union. Therefore, it is said, love is God. Love comes in many layers. Divine love is expressed in songs, music, and poetry. A seeker finds the love of the Lord in meditation. They dissolve into the Lord, becoming zero, becoming one. This is the highest love. Meera found the Lord through her dance. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dissolved all his knowledge in divine dancing. Nanak found divine love through singing. Ravidas experienced the divine in his hymns. Akka Mahadevi sacrificed her entire life for Lord Mallikarjun. She became a renunciate and offered her very existence to that invisible love. The seeker gets lost in divine love, just as a drop gets lost in the ocean. When the drop is lost in the ocean, it becomes the ocean itself. If the ocean were to be lost in the drop, the divine himself is lost in the seeker's love. When the ocean dissolves into the drop, love takes the form of devotion. Devotion is the ultimate limit of love. Love is the wave, and when the wave sinks into the ocean and becomes one, that is devotion. The devotee becomes one with God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, upon seeing the wooden sandals of Lord Vishnu, sacrificed all his knowledge at their feet and became one in divine love. This is the greatest state of a devotee. Knowledge is nothing compared to devotion. The first step of attaining the Lord is experienced through devotion. Knowledge provides information, but devotion provides nectar. When a devotee's mind becomes empty of the world, when the vessel of the mind is empty, only then can the fragrance of the Lord fill it as devotion. All the 7 chakras along the devotee's spine become like a flute. Just as a flute is hollow from within, as the Kundalini energy rises within the devotee and reaches each chakra, it produces the notes of the divine. From these 7 notes, the Anahatanara, the eternal melody of the universe, is born. In summary, love leads to devotion. First comes love, then devotion. Love and devotion are a ladder that easily carries one to the divine. The mind becomes completely detached from the world and extremely sensitive. This strike on the mind easily delivers the devotee to the Lord. Just as Kalidasa reached the divine through the worship of Mother Kali and was able to write great epics, or Tulsidas became detached from the world because of his wife and turned toward the Lord. There is infinite bliss in divine love and devotion. This bliss cannot be compared to anything. This devotion can manifest as a song or take the form of a dance. This is the unsolved mystery of love and devotion. If we talk about trust, any sensitive person develops immense trust in the divine. This trust arises because they see the mysterious nature all around them. A beautiful plant grows from a tiny seed. The plant becomes a tree. This, too, is a form of mysterious nature. Similarly, love for the Lord emerges in the heart of the lover, the devotee, and the seeker. Everything comes from the earth, coal, gas, minerals. When the seeker and lover experience all this, it feels wondrous. All this is the glory of the Lord. When they drown in the love of the Lord, they experience the witness. They feel the electric current within. Through their dreams, they come to know the past and the future. Then their trust in the Lord becomes immovable. No one can shake them because they have experienced the witness in their practice and felt the energy in their spine. This is no ordinary experience. The breath comes and goes on its own. This makes the seeker's trust in the Lord firm, that everything is done by the Lord. In the deep states of meditation, they experience samadhi or state of ecstasy and the life force. Firmness comes to them, they become one with the Lord. Trust, in its final stage, takes the form of unwavering faith. When faith in the Lord is established, even if their Guru calls the night day and the day night, they do not waver in believing it, because they begin to see the Guru and God as one. First, trust arises within, then through internal practice, firm faith develops, and gradually they become a form of the divine. It was only through this unwavering faith in the Lord that Hanuman could bring a mountain of herbs in a single moment. That was the power of the Lord, it was the power of firm faith. Fire could not burn Prahlad because fire is also a form of the Lord, and Prahlad had become a form of the Lord. One's own hand cannot hurt oneself. We are all in the Lord. Even when placed in a pit of snakes, no snake harmed Prahlad because the snake is also a form of the divine. Nothing happened to Prahlad even when mountains fell upon him, because in his childhood, Prahlad had become one with the divine. Poison had no effect on Meera because poison is also a form of the Lord, and Meera had become the Lord herself. How can the divine harm his own form? Bodhidharma was not affected even by poisoned food. The devotee perceives the consciousness of the Lord in every form, in every living being, in trees, and in stones. In some, consciousness is evolved, in others, it is in a dormant state. An avdhut, a liberated soul, knows perfectly that the Lord does everything. He eats through me, he walks through me. Such a soul becomes fearless of death and does not fear any disease. It becomes evident to the avdhut that I am a form of the divine. Death is merely the process of changing clothes. When you become a form of the Lord, you become divine. You cannot hurt yourself. When you are the Lord's form, nothing can cause you pain because you have become one with Him. The Lord is in all forms. When a person realizes that I reside in the divine and the divine is everywhere, it is only possible when the flowers of affection, love, devotion, trust, and unwavering faith bloom fully within them. They begin to spread fragrance. Such a person lives in the fragrance of the Lord. Their life becomes divine. Their living, their eating, their vision, they see the Lord everywhere. For them, there is nothing in the world except the divine. When our state becomes such that we see the divine in everyone, we cannot cause harm to anyone. Because causing harm to another is equal to causing harm to oneself. All of this is possible only when the lamp of affection, love, devotion, trust, and unwavering faith is lit within us, making everything divine and fragrant. Thank you.